Hello and welcome to my channel. I have in my collection this Wizard of Oz game from Ravensburger. It comes with 6 very well detailed miniatures and I just have to paint them up. So we have Dorothy and Toto, her 3 new friends the Scarecrow, Tin Man and Cowardly Lion, as well as Glenda the Good Witch and the Wicked Witch of the West. These figures are a little bit out of shape, so I'll leave them to soak in some warm water. Then after a few seconds I can correct their positioning. Unfortunately this didn't work too well as the miniatures are made of a very soft plastic, so they just reverted back to their original positions. So it looks like I'm going to be painting some slightly wonky miniatures. The first step is to apply some primer. I start off with Dorothy and first paint all her fleshed areas, and then move on to her hair, her ribbons, and then her blouse and her basket. Her blouse is shown as being a blue colour on the cover art, but once I checked the stills from the film I realised it was white, so I corrected that. I painted Toto black and gave him a white dry brush so we can see all his fur. Then I painted Dorothy's dress and socks a light blue. And then lastly used some red for the ruby slippers. There are some flowers sculpted in around her feet, so I painted them red, yellow and white. The rim of the base is designed to look like the Yellow Brick Road, so naturally I painted that yellow. Then I used some black wash to separate the bricks. I painted the base brown and then I covered it with PVA glue. And this is so that I can dip it into this grass and give Dorothy something nice to stand on. It just takes a few seconds to move it around the bag and get good coverage. All I have to do is brush away the excess grass from the edges, then Dorothy's finished. That's 1 down and 5 to go. And next up is the Scarecrow. So first up I paint his face in a straw-like colour, then I dry brush some white over it. Then I painted his hat black, then started working down his body. His jacket is a green colour and his trousers are light brown. Then for his shoes I painted them a dark brown. The Scarecrow has tufts of hair sticking out of his clothing all over the place. And for those I painted them a straw colour, including the rope on his belt. And then lastly, his gloves appear to be a light blue colour. Then I repeated the same process as I did with Dorothy by painting the base a dark brown, then painting the bricks yellow. And then after covering the base in a layer of PVA glue, I dip it into a bag of model grass. And then that's figure number 2 completed. And now for the Tin Man. And this time around the colour scheme is very simple and quick to paint. I covered him in silver paint and then gave him a black wash. Then after dabbing off the excess with a tissue, I can start adding the rust. Because as you remember in the film, he seized up because of the rain. A watered down orange colour works very well for the rust, and I stick mostly to the edges or where the joints are. Then I repeated the same process with the base as with the other 2. And that's figure number 3 completed. Next up is the Cowardly Lion. That's another quick paint job. I cover him in yellow, followed by a brown wash. Then using a cream colour, I give him an all over dry brush. And that was it, nice and simple. And that's the last of the companions. And now for the Good Witch Glenda. And this one I found to be the hardest one to paint, as the paint didn't like adhering to the soft plastic. But anyway, I painted the flesh tones and then I painted the hair red. And then most of her clothing is a light pink, of which I dry brushed some white and some silver to try and emulate all the other layers to the dress. I then painted all the stars and other race dials in silver to hopefully pass for glitter. And now she's done, there's only one more character left, and that's the Wicked Witch of the West. And she only requires 3 colours. I painted the broom light brown, followed by dark brown wash. Her hand and face were painted a night bright green. And then it was just a matter of covering the rest of her body in black. And because black hides detail, I need to give it a dry brush in white. And that way all the buttons and lacings stand out. And there we have it, our completed set of figures. These guys were not really designed to be painted, but what the hell. It is a little bit frustrating that these figures were made out of soft plastic, as some of them are still leaning over or have wobbly parts, and nobody likes wobbly parts. Overall the skulls are pretty good though, but the faces aren't that cracking, as Dorothy looks like she's been in a few fights and lost. So let's have a look at these painted miniatures along with the game board maps. Being painted definitely brings it to life and helps to enhance the gameplay experience. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, if I can do it, so can you.